Welcome back. You're watching South Africa Tonight. We've seen several arrests of citizens refusing to comply with Level 3 lockdown regulations. Recently, a Sebokeng pastor was taken into custody for holding an illegal church gathering. Police Minister Bheki Cele has been warning the public to comply or face jail time. Just how far will the police go to ensure that the public complies? Cele joins me now to discuss this. Minister, good evening and thanks very much for joining us. I'm going to start off with that Sebokeng pastor. We know he was released the next day and is not facing charges. Why is that?
Well, the aim of the regulation and the police is to enforce the law. The police have a right of giving you the free bail. We call that J534, where they arrest you, they give you the bail and a free bail, and they notice you. They give you the notice and the warning that if you repeat the same thing, they will take you to the further thing, to the further step. I think that was the reason, and that is a method that was used at Sebokeng pasture.
We know that without enforcement, rules have less power. We've seen many South Africans breaking the regulations, not wearing masks, buying or selling and transporting illegal alcohol, having large parties, large gatherings, breaking curfew. What are you going to do to beef up enforcement now that the President has added some regulations to the adjusted Level 3 lockdown?
Well, I don't think that we don't have enough power of doing it. If you look, starting from the 27th of December, which was moving to the Level 3 the previous day, until the 7th of January, 20,116 people have been arrested already. Most of them for liquor offences, and for the mask for mask offences, 7,000 people have been arrested. And I must say, we have found a better compliance when it comes to the mask at the present moment. I think maybe because people are realizing that the situation is serious, but also that now you can enforce the question of the face mask. So I don't think that it's a question of police not doing it. And when you look at the arrest since the beginning in March, there are 342,000 people that have been arrested by the South African police. That is a very huge number of the people that have been arrested. So people, they do break the law, but police respond and they arrest them. So, and it will be a chain taking them to court and all, but police will really arrest those people that break the law.
After being arrested, and let's take there's 7,000 arrests specifically for the offence of not wearing your mask in public. Let's just look at those for a minute. What then happens to someone who is arrested for not wearing their mask? What's the follow-through? Because that, of course, is a deterrent to other people.
Well, since the Level 3, the mask has become mandatory and has become a criminal record not to wear the mask. Before that, it was us urging you, really begging you to put the mask. But if you ask me what next will I do, nothing I could. Now we take you to the police station, and at the police station, we take your fingerprints. You choose to pay the fine, or you choose to see the magistrate, and the magistrate takes us through. Both those processes of taking your fingerprints or taking to the it gives you a criminal record. That's what South Africans must be very wary of, that immediately you have a criminal record. And you know what criminal records do to your life going forward. So these 7,000 people that you have arrested, already they've created and manufactured criminal records for themselves.
Minister, after the President's address last night and after this afternoon's briefing by Ministers Dlamini Zuma and Motsoaledi, are there other areas of enforcement that you're needing to focus on specifically to enforce the new regulations?
Well, nothing much has changed. with the regulations except the borders. And you know that we're not big on the borders as South African police, except at the ports of entry. The South African National Defence Force will be there on the borderline. But we still have to enforce the offences, your alcohol, the housebreaking, the curfew, and the things like people attending the church, the beach, which has become very famous since we went to the West Coast and went to the Garden route, and we continue to enforce those. But what the nation must remember, we still work on our primary mandate as a South African Police Service. It's a crime prevention. Our creation of December safety season was based on preventing the crime, which we called Operation Tight Grip. On the way, we were found about level 3 that we were supposed also to make sure that we enforce. But as South African Police Service, we do both. So nothing much changed really with the new regulations, except that those that were there have stayed, and then is exactly what we have been doing to enforce and will continue to enforce.
Minister, what about police officers who are meant to be enforcing the rules, breaking them? And I'm going to ask you about a specific video doing the rounds of police officers transporting illegal liquor. Are you aware of it? Have you seen it? Has anyone been arrested? And are you aware of the dire message this sends to public about people who are supposed to be upholding the law, breaking it?
Well, police, if they commit crime, they stop there and then to be police and become criminals. We have arrested, I'm sure you have seen the one video that was doing rounds from Western Cape. That person has been arrested. You have seen one that was drunk in front of the police station, sleeping there. The one that you are talking about is a video that we are studying. We had it from the main media, like yourselves. We have the video. We are studying that video. We believe that that is a South African Police Service van. We need to establish from where. Unfortunately, where is written the station is not very clear. We believe that the van, but the rest of the people will have to find out who they are immediately. We establish where did that van come. Today, especially the people from Gauteng, they were working on it. The people from the PR of the police, the spokesperson, everybody has been working. Once we establish who those people are, we'll sit on them, and they stop being police, they become criminals.
Minister, the surge in cases we're seeing at the moment, scientists are saying it's because of a lack of adherence to the regulations during the festive period. Are you, as the police, expecting people to naturally be more compliant now that the festive season is over and people are heading back to work? Or do we need to change our attitude and be far harder on ordinary South Africans not complying?
I wish we would be asking those questions to the communities, to the people of South Africa. Do we really need police and law enforcement officers to enforce these laws? It's very clear now, very clear. We bury people we know. We bury people with the names and faces we know. And the death and infections are very high. It would have been better, really, if South Africans were taking it upon themselves, not wait for the enforcement. But failing which, we are mandated by the Constitution to say, when you break the laws and regulations, we need to enforce, to be there to enforce. For the fact that from the 29th of December until the 7th, from the 29th of December until the 11th of January, we have arrested 20,116 people. It tells you that there are many South Africans that are refusing to comply, and that is at the expense of themselves, but of their loved ones, of their next door, of their friends. So the call really must be increased to the South Africans. Yes, when they fail to do so, to comply, enforcement must be there, but it would be much better if people were doing what they're supposed to do and they know what to do.
Minister, one last question before I let you go. I've just been speaking to an expert, a legal expert, on the spreading of fake news and misinformation, specifically regarding the COVID pandemic and now around the vaccine rollout. Do you have figures at hand of how many people have been arrested for spreading fake news around COVID-19?
Well, I don't have figures, but I know that is in the regulation that, especially under COVID, fake news is a criminal offense. But again, I wish those people that they use this very good facility of videos, very good of social media, could really do better. Because they make, when they go for fake news, they make us not to trust. Let me tell you the story. On the 1st of December, 1st of January, I woke up with myself trending for having been in the party the last night. And indeed, the video, I was dancing like nobody's business. And that was April video in the Cape Town Jazz in April 2017. But these fake news, they make South Africans not trust, and I know that there are people that have been arrested, but I'm sorry that I can't give you the figure, but it's one of the serious offense, especially the fake news when it comes now to vaccination and all those things. And sometimes people putting even names of the people that they are COVID positive when that is not true, and they're putting the people at the back foot. And I think that enforcement must continue, but also the courts and prosecution must help us that those people must be punished accordingly.
Well, thank you. Hopefully next time we speak to you, Minister, we can get those numbers for you to send a message to South Africans about the seriousness of spreading fake news. Always a pleasure to speak to you. That was Minister Bheki Cele. Let's bring you a reminder now of our top stories this hour. More clarity on the adjusted level 3 lockdown regulations. We'll have all the analysis for you this evening.